Hey. Okay, so I'm doing this spread. It's the Inner Quest spread. So it's just for Chris Pello and just for Chris Pello only. Hey, Barry. Hey. All right. So I'm just going to read real quick what it's about, and then we'll go over the cards that I picked. So it's your journey. So what is the current story of my life, basically? So I pre-shuffled the deck, and 2 cards flew out, which I think is hilarious because one of them is the comic, and it's got that sad kitty, and one of them is the judge. So that's crazy. But anyway. So card number 1 represents you, who. So the archetypal side of the self that is most dominant in the story. This is the part of you that needs attention in order for you to understand and move on with your quest. Now, I mean, 2 of them came out. So I'm going to read both of them, to be honest, because both of them flew out. It was like, oh, okay, cool. So I'm doing this at work, so it's kind of hard to put it over this way so you can kind of see. Yeah. So the first card that represents you see the sad little kitty, is the comic, which I thought was interesting. And when I first saw it, I was like, oh my God, that's so Pello. So that is card number XXBI. So what is that, 26? So this represents you in the story. And again, I pulled 2 cards, not on purpose, but it's just how it happened. So it's the comic, the Joker, the clown, the fool. The comic carries a remedy for all that ails this world. Amid the deepest pain and suffering, there is always the potential to lift up and out of darkness through laughter. Though dismissed by some as lowbrow or unsophisticated, this archetype actually has a highly advanced mind. Some may use the word genius, as humor requires one to see the situation from afar rather than be swept up by the drama. The comic sees and accepts the messiness of life, using it as material to be mixed and shaped into a potion to soothe the stressed and serious mind. This literally lightens us up. Thus, within the comic usually is the sage or the magician, working healing magic upon any audience who will lend an ear. The comic may be the archetype that heals the deep division in our world, one pun at a time. So when that flew out, I was like, oh my God, that's so Chris. So when light, it's hilarious, ingenious, spirited, and easygoing. When it's reversed, or when you're having a bad day, or whatever, it's sarcastic, harsh, brooding, and drunk. Oof, I don't make this shit up, dude. I'm serious. So it says to go deeper, to look at images of the laughing Buddha. The comic has plenty to share, to throw on others, and it can fall into shadow at the drop of a hat. Beware of the sharp claws. Joy, jokes, and smiles are all signs of a happy heart. Be wary of spiritual practices or teachers who leave the comic by the wayside. So probably when you were younger, that was kind of the role you played, is what I'm feeling. Now, the funny thing of it is, and I think this describes you perfectly. The other card that came out was the Judge. Okay, which also represents you as well. So that is card number 11. What is that? I don't even know. I can't read Roman numerals. What the fuck? Can't they just put regular? Okay. So like I said, usually I only pull 1 card for the who of the situation, but 2 came out. The comic was super pertinent. But also, I think this is the other part of your personality is the judge. It's the critic, the diplomat, the advocate. So the judge has an incredibly important job. They work every waking hour of every day, helping us discern what is safe, true, and just. When this archetype remains unconscious or is captivated by fear, wise discernment turns into painful judgment of self and other. Ironically, the judge's energy can be the seed of racism, bigotry, and fear-mongering. This is the judge out of balance, building walls, separating from the other. When this same discerning force is made conscious and healed, however, the judge may be found advocating for civil rights causes, standing up for the underdog, and providing resources for those in need, forgiving again and again. Love is the deciding factor here. So, awakening the archetype is essential for complex times we are in. Get your judge in order. The world needs it. So I think that that's part of your personality as well. I mean, really, it's almost like night and day, both. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to figure this out here. All right. So when it's light, it's discernment, advocacy, right, action, and compassion. When it's dark, it's critical, punishing, unforgiving, and wall building, which is, I think that's your other mode, really, honestly. So the judge's energy is contagious. When we feel judged, walls go up all around. Similarly, when we feel accepted, the entire world softens. Gandhi had an incredibly illuminated inner judge. He was a lawyer. I didn't know that. Okay. He practiced silence one day a week in order to hone his discernment while on his revolutionary path. But they're just so opposite. One is serious, but I really feel they're both sides of you. So I was like, oh shit. And they flew out of the deck. So again, this is the inner quest. So this is the first one. This represents you, the most dominant in your story, and what needs the most attention, which you had both. So moving on is where. The archetypal setting for the journey that you are on. This is the energy that surrounds the situation, the stage, or the backdrop that influences the story. And I had to laugh because the bridge flew out. And I mean it flew out. So of course, what am I thinking? Crybaby bridge, right? This isn't the gay bridge, so don't freak out. But crybaby bridge. I was like, holy shit, really? Like, is this happening? It made me laugh when it came out. So I gotta go to the Roman numeral and a thing, and let's see, XXX, okay, VII. Okay, so we have the bridge, and again, this is the backdrop to where your story is taking place. So the connection, the line, the gate. Bridges are built to connect two worlds. They create flow, allowing us to travel between realms, ideologies, and personalities. And to circle K. Haha. This archetype is the gesture of acceptance, of saying yes rather than withdrawing, separating and saying no. When we cross a bridge to an unknown land, we are led magically into a new reality. We open up to otherness. Healing and communication are made possible. We enter a state of curiosity, wonder, and learning. The shaman, for example, creates the bridge between the everyday world and the sacred. I think you're creating a bridge between your two selves, but I also think you're creating a bridge into sobriety. You're trying bridge over troubled water, to be honest, and that's kind of what I even think they talk about this in this, But anyways, this card asks us to study the connections between the seemingly disconnected parts of our life, relationships, ideologies, and histories. Remember that a bridge can't be forced. It must be made with love, or structure will not withstand the inevitable weather of life. So I also feel like this is an important statement here for you to hear. So this card asks us to study the connections between the seemingly disconnected parts of ourselves. So definitely, you have a huge connection to the past, right? So I think that's important. So imagine building a bridge, then imagine building a wall. Which energy is needed for the situation at hand? Which image softens and heals the heart? Obviously, the bridge. So, and of course, this talks about Bridge Over Troubled Water by Simon and Garfunkel, guy has a great voice, right? So that is the backdrop, which like I said, I had to laugh when I saw the bridge, because crybaby bridge, right? And then I thought it'd be your grandma, and it was just weird. Okay, so the tool that you're going to be using for your inner quest, so with what? The archetypal tool you must use, find, or give up, so destiny can unfold. Think of this as the key to the situation, or the best tool for the task at hand. So this is the flame. And it flew out. I don't really have any thoughts on it yet because I have to read it, but it flew out. So the fire, the spark, the glimmer. So in Sanskrit, the word for fire is Agni. The ancient yogi saw this flame at the center of the abdomen and believed it to be responsible for our vitality. When it is lit, we are connected to our purpose and sense that life is a sacred gift. It is said that those who cannot see the sacred around them have let their inner flame go out. Think of this card as a call to reignite that fire, to cup your hands gently around those things you've forgotten, and protect the flame, no matter how harshly the winds around you blow. It could be an inner archetype that begs you to light its wick. It is likely that the poet, the mystic, or the shaman would call you with the language of the flame. That's a little mystical, but I mean, the flame is basically about self-protection to me. So when light, it's about health, mental clarity, and good digestion. When it's dark, having a bad day, excess heat, anger, and complete darkness. So the archetype fire is at the beginning of all transformation, purification, and manifestation. Nearly every spiritual lineage honors the flame. So you are on a brand new journey, obviously. Your old self bridging to the new self. To enliven the connection with this archetypal energy, practice the candle gazing technique called Trataka. Notice how lighting a single candle in any space brings magic to the room and creates a sense of reverence. True. So I think to take away from this is about reigniting that inner flame, because I know you've been beaten down, with the job, with the alcohol, with the family situation. So that's kind of what I took away from this. You can tell me what you took away from it for sure. Okay, so we're coming up on the end of it. Okay, so the last part of the inner quest is why. So it's the deeper meaning, the deeper purpose of your journey. So this is a mythic theme or challenge that you will face as you approach your growth's edge. Think of this card as what your entire journey is about. So you have agape. Woo, I like the agape. I've actually never pulled this card. So agape is devotion and unconditional love. So this is what your journey is all about, like all the struggle that you're doing, okay? So that stupid Thompson twin songs come in, in the name of love. Yeah, I know you remember that, but it's totally gay. All right. What if instead of putting yourself at the center of your spiritual practice, you put God, Goddess, or nature at the center? How would this change your approach? Such is the energy of agape. It is alive when we are in awe and wonder, our breath taken away by the sacred force that surrounds us and asks for nothing in return. This card can indicate a spiritual initiation that stretches your capacity to love and serve. You sense the earthly as the heavenly and vice versa. Such an initiatory moment can appear in any form, and like a healing balm to the modern soul, its effects last a lifetime. The agape card may also suggest you reassess what you worship every day. Consciously or unconsciously, what are you elevating? Where does the sacred ladder you climb to ultimately lead to? So when light, it's about service, reverence, honor, and joy. When it's dark, it's about spiritual bypassing and righteousness. So agape can also be felt as an overwhelming love of family. And it's recognize it by a deep swell of gratitude for that, which you're very close with your family. So I think that's, the Greek word agape informs the English word agape, to have the mouth agape. Is to be awestruck by something or breathtaking delight. We are made humble once again. And in my opinion, I think this whole journey that you've been on has been humbling and awe-inspiring for you. It's been difficult. And I think you probably tried to give up or whatever, but, again, on the right path. I don't know. I just love this spread. I think it's really awesome. So I hope that it resonated with you, and let me know, and I'll see you Wednesday, but I'm going to send this to you.